and this meeting. Thank you. So we are going to record this meeting so that it will be informational and posted on our website and on YouTube. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining again tonight. And this is the outreach meeting for CCD 75 for the end of the year events. Good afternoon, Andrea. Good afternoon, Mrs. Maria Hernandez. Thank you guys for being here. So I won't take too much of your time today. What I would like to discuss, if everyone can see the agenda, please let me know if it needs to be bigger. Let me know that as well. So the meeting for tonight is just to go over the end of the year events. I'll go ahead and pause for a moment so that interpretation can say what I've said so far, and we won't, I know I talk a little bit fast, so I'll pause for a moment for any members that might need interpretation. All right, so moving forward, we are working on—
Somebody from the chat asked if you can make it bigger.
Yes, absolutely. One moment. Thank you. Well, that's as big as it's going. Is that helpful or no? If not, I will do my best to— here we go. Maybe that's a bit better.
It's much better.
Okay, so I'll scroll slowly over. So we're going to speak tonight about our awards ceremony and our Parent Empowerment Conference. I'll give you the brief of our Parent Empowerment Conference. The updates for that is we will have NAMI, the National Association of Mental Health Institution, and Include New York. They will both be presenting. This is for the Mental Health Awareness Month, and because we really want to focus on parents and things that we can give them to support them as we, well, us, as we go through the journey with our children. We will need a volunteer to monitor the chat as we go through this Saturday from 10 to 1 p.m. Hopefully, it'll go with Q&A. It could probably end a little bit earlier, but that is the time frame we're shooting for. We did have parent to parent who were going to come for resources. They are unable to attend, but we will still be able to have the resources that they were going to give forward to share to parents. So in that regard, that is what will be happening on this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's NAMI and Include New York. And NAMI will present a workshop about ending the silence. We know there's a lot of stigmas when it comes to depressions or mental health, and we want to make sure that we are supporting our parents in every possible way with every possible resource. Are there any questions so far in regard to that?
There's no hands up.
Okay, thank you so much. If not, I'll move forward. So what we're looking for, the conference is technically set. As I said, we have NAMI, Include New York. I really do need someone to step in who can help me in the comment section when we have Q&As, just to make sure that we're having the voices flow for our parents in the best way to be answered. In regard to our next step, which is our awards end of the year event. As some of you may know, if you do not know, our end of the year event will be at Baruch College on June 9th, and this will be from 5:30 until 8 p.m. This is where we're going to award our parents, our advocates, our teachers, our principals, etc. for District 75. The point of this meeting is so that we can iron out a few details that we put forth to our council on Wednesday. And what I would like to continue is the survey that we had last year, which allowed our superintendent to give us 10 nominations for principals. We're over on this note side here to the right. So the Kettler, we would be asking, Kettler Lewis, we would ask to give us 10 principals. We would then send the survey to the principals and parent coordinators to ask for parent coordinators to nominate, teachers to nominate, and parents to nominate. We are looking to bring 25 to 50 students as our special invited guest. Now, I know with the time period that we have, we don't want to give out, 50 to 70 awards and have people's time in that vein. We will have a DJ. It will be, fun, karaoke, etc. So we want to make sure we're celebratory at the same time. So what I want to let everyone know is I am reaching out and have reached out to our co-president, Cy. And President Green, I haven't reached out to you yet, but I am letting you know now. I would like the two of you to assist me with gathering our 25 to 50 students that we will have on as our special guest from District 75. I'm sorry, was there a question? Okay. As we see with the numbers, that'll be 10, 20, 30, 40. We're looking at about 60 to 70 maybe guests that we'll have there. That the event space accommodates 400 people. We can only accommodate 200 for our dinner. Now, what I wanted to bring up was with our students that we have as special attendees, I would like if it's too much work, if you need assistance, please let me know. We will definitely jump in. If Co-President Cy and or Green can help us, once we get those students, I would love to, and people can give me your ideas of what you think. I would like to get the highlights of our students that we are having as awardees, as attending special guests, so that we can show them off. I didn't realize my video wasn't on. I want to show off our students. So I would love to have videos, reels, still shots, pictures, anything that shows what these students have done in contribution to D75, to our schools, etc. We would love to have that be added. What I would like to bring up, I know there are a lot of council members that, or a few that may not return. And I want to hear them when they say, they've been here as founding members or for a while, and they would like to give out special awards to our stakeholders who have really been there in different ways that a lot of us may or may not know, or they may know in a very broad way. We want to be able to make room for those council members to give the B awards. As we know, our slogan is be seen, be heard, be connected. So for social responsibility, we want to give this award to individuals who have assisted
Heading westbound.
I'm sorry, was there a question? Okay, well, we want to give...
There's a Zoom bomb. I'll try to kick them out.
Okay, thank you so much. So we'll want to assist...
No problem.
...in improving our communities and volunteer programs, social groups, outreach centers. You guys know who our people are that have done, extraordinary work for D75. And we want to make sure that our council members' voices are heard, in addition to our District 75 stakeholders, which we will be reaching out with our survey that will go out this week, so that we can make sure we start getting in the nominations and make sure that we can get our awards printed out and things of that nature. Are there any questions so far?
No.
Okay, thank you. So our catering menu, this is, let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. I'd love to have a little bit of feedback here. It is a bit exorbitant considering that we have a great caterer who has allowed us to have a multitude of menus. Let me pull those up one moment. I'd love to give a level of feedback. And are you guys able to see what I'm sharing currently?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. So for everyone, we have, give me one more moment. I think there's one more. We have vegan and then, okay. So for our menus, guys, we get to get 1 poultry, 1 meat, 1 seafood, 3 vegetables, etc. So for the people that are on here who have a couple of ideas, I would love it if you would tell me what vein you're kind of thinking in regard to there's Puerto Rican food, there's Italian food, there's American food, there's vegan food. Does anyone on here, some of you may not want to speak, some of you might. Does anyone have an idea of the type of food that they may like to see? I know for our vegan people, we definitely want to make sure. I was thinking maybe one of our vegan lasagnas or the spinach lasagnas, something that would basically a child would like, but also a vegan could be accommodated in the same space. So
Co-President Green has a hand up.
should I take the screen down or can you, I'll listen to you. Go ahead, Ms. Green.
Thank you, Councilmember Angel. I actually don't have a question about the food. It was actually about the other part. So I'll wait till you get back to the other thing. So
no, come on, let's just go. We can, this is
let's do the food because I think that's an easier thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fastest thing to do. So I'm gonna let whoever.
If you think it's fast, I love it. All right. So what I'm going to present is that we do like a vegan lasagna, whichever one that this may be, the spinach or just the regular vegan. In regard to, I want to pull this up, the hot, excuse me, this is not opening. Okay, the hot Puerto Rican options. There's a lot of different rice options, etc., beans options. We do get 3 sides. So without making it super complicated, I'm thinking chicken, beef, seafood. Miss Andrea, yes, go ahead, by all means.
Me personally, I'm allergic to seafood.
Okay, say more, please. I want to make sure that we do keep accommodations for people who might get, so then maybe steer clear of seafood.
I mean, I have to because I'm allergic.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Okay, so then in that regard, we get poultries, we get meats. Does anyone have something that they completely, please do not add to the menu? I don't like it. Our kids may not like it, because we will have children here. So we want to make sure what we add for them and for us and for all of the guests, you know, they can basically eat and appreciate.
Chair Angel, I just want to say, maybe rather than saying what we might not have, maybe ask the vendor to clearly label whatever it is. This way someone has a label on the seafood so that they don't go towards the seafood.
Yes.
Or have a label on, for example, I don't eat pork, and there's a whole lot of people that don't. So have a label on there that says that contains pork, so that somebody doesn't go and take that instead of.
So then maybe we do beef versus pork, and then do we want to? Are we in a consensus of maybe we want a salmon or something of that nature? It's labeled and separated so that we keep the people who do have sensitivities separated, etc.
Yeah, I think it's important to label everything, because
absolutely,
we just don't know who's allergic to what.
But not even label, but maybe keep them separated even to a certain degree, because shellfish and things, I really don't want anyone to have a level of reaction when you do the seafood.
I agree.
Let's walk through. Here's the hot American options. The potatoes, we get 3 vegetables. So mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes, classic potatoes. You see all the, if you don't have a certain particular type, maybe we should just go with the mashed because it's a typical thing, or the new potatoes because it's a typical, you either have a whole potato, mashed potato, and you don't have to go with the in-betweens that people may or may not eat. Just want to put that out there. And you do have candy yams at the bottom here. And that's for the hot American options. Once we go down, we have our meats. And I know that a lot of people don't eat pork, so maybe we just exclude that. I'm not beyond excluding it. And maybe go beef. There's pot roast, beef chuck, grilled chicken breast, meatloaf, which maybe some of our children might be easier for them to eat. So I'm thinking of what might be kid friendly as well as what might be good for our adults. There's roasted chicken, chili con carne, buffalo wings, ribs, which is, I don't know if they're beef or pork, so I'm gonna kind of step out of that one. Brisket. Is anyone opposed to having beef as a recommendation? Okay, if not, I'll keep that as, I'll narrow out a few options for that. For the hot Italian options, if I'm moving too fast, please let me know. For the appetizers, which I don't think we necessarily would have, so I'm going to skip down to unless anyone has a reason not to skip, I'm going to scroll down to the hot Italian options. These are our pastas. Bow tie pastas work really great with children, I do believe. Penne garlic and oil, maybe not. Classic lasagna, maybe. So if we do, my question would be, if we have a vegan option, do we want to have a vegan lasagna and then not worry about the classics so that we can make room for other food options for parents? Does anyone have feedback there? I know it's tiny, but I'm just curious.
I'm sorry, ask the question one more time.
I want to make sure that we have a pasta, but I'm thinking that our pasta should be one of the vegan options in case people don't like meat, they can still have a full meal, etc. I saw Miss Daniels. Did you want to jump in? Andrea?
Well, we definitely have to have a vegan option because some people are vegan. So probably a pasta would be good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the
Without the
lasagna
meat.
one, like you said, the pasta,
Yeah.
the vegan one. But then maybe rice and beans or some type of rice for everyone else, and maybe mashed potatoes.
So do you guys think it would be okay to do 2 lasagnas, or is that too pasta-y? Like, I want to make sure our kids have options where they can eat it and they're great about it, and then our adults are like, this is great as well. But if we do a lasagna, should it just be for the vegan option, or should we have 2 types of it? There's going to be like,
maybe 2 types because you got to think about the kids as well.
yeah. Okay. So then we'll put 2 options there. And then with the seafood, I have a question. Considering that we have the allergies here, is there any type of seafood that we want to consider as having an option for the other attendees that might want to have seafood? We have creamy pesto shrimp, linguine and clams. I'm scared to go too far in the shellfish. I'm more into the salmon or maybe the shrimp parmesan, even though that's shell, but I just wanted to hear how people felt about that, knowing that
I agree with you on this one. I think salmon is probably the safest of the things that's up there. More and more people are allergic to shellfish, anything that has a shell, including the shrimp. So
okay, I agree. I can stick with you there. For the chickens, we do get a chicken. Does anyone have any type of chicken that they prefer? I mean, it's a award dinner.
Can't eat the rest.
Say it again.
The salmon is good because I can't eat the rest of it. I'm allergic.
Okay. What about chicken? We do get one poultry. So do we have a type of poultry that people prefer? I would think chicken parmesan would be out since we already have the pasta. So
do you have the fried chicken pieces like for the kids, the small chicken?
This is the chicken Francesca, is the breaded and floured, yes. So the breaded chicken, right?
Is that good for the kids though?
If they, I mean, as a reward, breaded chicken is great for all of us. I mean, if we're thinking about health, then we have the options of like the vegan stuff and the vegetables that we can choose. But I think everybody might like a little fried chicken every now and again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we do get, I want to go over to, where are we have our rices, our beans. So we know for sure we're going to add a rice, bean in, etc. Do we want to switch over to like the chicharron, to the guisado, salmon versus codfish? Anyone? Stick with salmon? Just asking so we don't.
I say salmon. I don't know about everybody else.
Okay, so we have basically the pasta, the salmon, something beef oriented. Does anyone have, if it's if it's are there any suggestions? If it's not, if it's everyone's okay with a beef, a chicken, a lasagna, and 3 vegetables, what type of vegetables are we looking at? Do we have any, the more basic, the easy, like yellow rice, mixed vegetables, something that's basically staying easy for our parents and for our kids so that it's more relatable, but also pleasurable?
Madam Chair, can I ask you one thing?
Yes, you
You
can.
showed the like the rice and beans things that they had on the other part of the menu. One second.
I feel like there's
All
a
right, so
meat.
would it be plain? It would be a plain rice and peas, right? Not one with with shrimp, or not one with the pork and
No,
all
no,
that.
no. Yeah, a plain rice and beef. Yes, a plain one.
All right, fine, no problem. I just wanted to be sure.
Okay, so we get 1 meat, 1 poultry, 1 meat, 1 seafood, 3 side dishes, 1 vegetable, and 1 salad. So for our salad, do we want to keep these things like as basic as possible just to make sure we can accommodate everyone? Is there a consensus there, or?
It doesn't affect the price itself, right? It
Nope,
just affects
not at all.
what we chose.
Even with the beef here, we can do pot roast, beef chuck, things of that, meatloaf. Does anyone have any feeling about where they feel there? I mean, I know a good Sunday dinner is like a pot roast. I know children will eat meatloaf. Does anyone lean toward, like, even with the meatloaf? I do turkey meatloaf. Are people, like, if we order this, do we want it to be a beef because that's what more people do, or just getting feedback? So when we give it on the 3rd, I can let people know where our minds are kind of at.
I'll go ahead with the consensus. I think whatever the others on the call want,
I'd say beef,
Like a pot roast or a meatloaf?
meatloaf.
Like a meatloaf. Okay. All right.
You gotta think about the kids.
Right. Okay. So then I'm going to sit in that space. Now, what I'll do, I want to come off of the screen share really quickly. And I want to revisit what Chair Green was saying in regard to, just to scoot back a little bit. Thank you guys for your input with the menus. With the surveys going into our teachers, our students, etc., and for our B awards that I want to have our council members who are leaving out to be able to nominate people. You had a few things to say, Chair Green.
No, it wasn't really to say. It was to ask how many people do we get to nominate, or like do all the council members get to nominate? Like all 11 council members get to nominate, and does Mr. Lawrence get to nominate since he spent most of the year with us?
Yeah, so I wouldn't exclude Mr. Lawrence out of that. I would definitely hear his voice. We are still a council, even if people have left. We spent a lot of time together. So the goal is to have 10 principals that come from Kettler, 10 parent coordinators, 10 teachers, 10 advocates, 10, hold up, let me pull my screen back up. Give me one moment. Here we go. So my bigger aspect, one side, I want to rejudge the survey so that we can send it out to all of our parent. I'm sorry, somebody's coming into the room with a little bit of help there. Here we go. All righty. So what we are talking about here, we're going a little bit backwards from last year and we're adapting. So we're looking at last year, our superintendent did give us the 10 principals. There were 2 per borough. And so we're breaking down 2 each borough. So we have parent coordinators, principals, parent advocates, and teachers, etc. So for our B awards, we're not giving our council members like any constraints. If you've worked with people that you're like, I really would love to award them on my way out based on our partnership, based on the work that they've done, based on the exemplary service that they've given to District 75, we want to hear from our council members and take note about and wait on what you do have to say for the awards. Considering the time frame, it's from 5:30 to 8 o'clock. We don't want to make this, like a graduation where we're there very, very long. Last year, it worked distinctly as well, but we do want to make sure that all of our council members are heard. that we do get the recommendations in and we nominate and have a great time, you know, on our way out. We are adding students this year and it's the first time, but I do believe with our student councils and, you know, with the spoken word and the different places that we're highlighting them, we need to invite them to be a part of the celebration. I did see Miss Daniel's hand up.
How will the students be selected?
We are currently asking that our co-presidents, and honestly, Andrea, you should be a part of that. If you and either Amy or co-president Green, you guys can come together. I'm completely okay with giving it to you guys. We have, my consideration is this, that some people want +1s when we have teachers, the principals have to come. So we have to be aware of the space. And additionally, we only have food for 200 people. We have space for 400. So we have to be very, you know, aware. If we invite a student, a parent's probably going to come. That's a +1. If we invite someone that's awarded, they get a +1. So that's why it's like we want to do, you know, 50-50 maybe, or 50-25, so that we make sure we have our district and our council members that are already counted for in our food and everything else. So that's why I say 25 students. Could there be more? Yes. Would they be able to be a part of the 200 number of food? That's a different that's a different consideration and conversation. So my
I
thing right now,
understand that. I just want to know, how would they be selected? So the co-presidents would do it?
I want to say, I would love you as well, Andrea, and the two co-presidents to get together, and then maybe, I don't know if we want to, and this is a conversation. I know you guys are very well into the schools and into the students, and you guys know a little bit more. That's why I'm completely okay with saying, hey, can you guys give us a list of 25 students?
Sure,
And
I
you
can
may
help
get
assist.
that.
I can help assist.
Absolutely, please. I would love for you to. So if the three of you guys could just give us a list of 25 students, and as soon as you narrow it down, we can send out the invitations, et cetera, and then work with the principals to get the pictures or videos of what these students have done during the year, so that we can create that reel and then also highlight them. That would be really cool. Co-President Sy and Green, are you okay with that proposal?
Yeah, I'm okay with that proposal. Yeah, I'm definitely okay with that proposal.
Okay, President Sy, is she still here? I can't, I want to pull this down, but in a moment, I want us to be very, very cognizant. We want to make sure that the people that we're giving these B awards for our council members, let's make sure that they're improving the communities, that they, like, this is like the top of cream of the crop. And so let's make sure on this way out, we really celebrate people, we celebrate our students, and we make sure to just be cognizant about who we are awarding, which I definitely trust relationships. Ms. Daniels, your hand is up.
I mean, this will be the easy part for me. You know, I helped it to select the process for the other awards, what it's called, the one we're doing on May 25th, that award. And it's I make it a fair process. Like,
Okay.
it was hard to go through those applications for that award for the students in District 75, and you only was able to select 12 in that case. So at least we're selecting 25.
Yes. And so what we'll do with the survey, I'll mock that up and get it out hopefully before the Parent Empowerment Conference on Friday. And then we can have a specific section that's just council members only, where they can put in for the B awards. And then everything else will be separate. And then I can follow back up with Ms. Daniels, with our co-presidents, and we can see where we are with our 25 students.
Ms. Husbands has a comment in the chat, and so do Christy Montalban.
I think the principals and or teachers should select the students. That actually is a part of what they will get to do as well with suggestions in our surveys. We do keep it open, but I do want to make sure that we get our top 25 students, so that we'll be, we need people that are really involved that know. So we'll have our President's Council, our presidents, our teachers and our districts, and we'll pull that together. And then we can have an additional meeting to pull our findings, what we found and what we've narrowed down for our 25 students. Is the B award for staff, student members, any? It's for any. As council members, you know, we work with a lot of stakeholders on varying levels. So this is for any. There's the criteria is just that they, you know, have made people seen, heard, connected, that they've done the work of D75 for D75. That would be the minimum request that we are asking. Again, let me share the screen. So socially responsible, an individual who assists others with improving their communities through volunteer programs, social programs, outreach centers, sports programs, after school programs. So we're talking about our teachers, our students, you know, student council, stakeholders, who has really stepped up and out for District 75 in a way that we want to say from our council members to you, thank you. And honestly, that is in brief what we'll need so far. What I would like to start is our co-presidents and our president from the President's Council with the survey. I'm going to send that out to everyone. Who's all listed here today? If you'd like to be attached to the survey just to see what it is, etc., please email us at d75council@schools.gov.nyc.gov, and then we can make sure that you're attached to the survey and you can at minimum see what's going out, etc. At the end of the day, I do want this ball to get rolling because our date is June 9th. So maybe by the third week of May, we need to we'll have another meeting prior to that, but we want to make sure we have finalized all of our nominees, all of our students, all invitations have gone out, and this is by the third week coming up shortly. So I'll make sure that we send out the surveys, and then if you guys can create a secondary, it can be an email thread of, hey guys, how do we want to push forward in getting our recommendations? Or it can just be that slot on the survey that's specific to you all. That's what I kind of would need to know, how you might want to flesh out your students. Or do we want to have a separate meeting where the co-presidents, in addition to President's Council, you guys speak, flesh that out? I'm completely okay with that, as long as we do get to 25 students by that third week of May. Thoughts?
However you want to do it, I'm fine. I'm here to assist.
Okay, so then I'll forward out an email to our council, to President's Council, and to everyone. So in transparency, we know what our next action items are. In 3 weeks, we do need the narrowing down of the 25 students, and we will need our awards, the 10 awards from the council. So I may make a separate survey. If I do so, I will make sure to put the information and or why, so that we can track everything and assist in narrowing things down by the 21st. So again, our awards dinner is on June 9th at Baruch College. I will need volunteers to help set up our tables for 200 people and to man the registration table. Do we have any volunteers that may want to possibly be a part of that?
I volunteer to clean up or whatever has to be done. If it's set up and clean up, that's fine.
Okay.
I can volunteer to help set up.
Okay, so I have Andrea and Miss Green for setup. The breakdown, honestly, it's a lot of people that do join in for that, but do we have anyone that wants to do registration possibly? Chair side, do you want to work registration possibly? If not, I don't.
I'm here, that's fine.
Yes, okay, so I will add you there. I know you float around a lot, so would you like another person to assist with the registration so that you can do the duties that you need to do as well? I'll put myself.
I can help if that's possible.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Andrea. So I'll put you down there as well. Thank you, guys. I do believe that might be it for now. I just wanted to go through the menu and go through what the survey would look like that we would be putting out this week. Are there any other considerations, concerns, or things that we may want to think about as we go into the next couple of weeks? If not, I am going to thank everyone for their time. And Christy Montalban, thank you. I'll set up in whatever you need. Thank you so much. Will the council vote on the B and E nominees? Yes, we should definitely vote on the B and E nominees. We should vote on it. And I'll be honest, I do want to make sure that as council members leave, that they do have a voice as they leave, but I do think we should vote on the final 10, and that can be that, just to keep it in transparency and as a whole, because we're giving it away as a council. Are there any other questions or considerations?
No.
Okay, if not, then thank you guys for coming tonight. Thank you for your time and thank you for your opinions. Hopefully we'll see you guys at our meeting on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. It'll be online and at Tweed. If you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to me at christyangel@me.com or reach out to me through the council at d75council@schools.nyc.gov. And that will bring us to an adjournment of the meeting.
Chair
for
Angel,
Yes,
before you adjourn, it's going to be virtual actually, because
Oh,
at the extension, so everything until May 20th is virtual. So this meeting and the next meeting is virtual, fully virtual.
Okay.
So nobody will be at Tweed. Please, nobody show up to
No
Tweed.
one will be at Tweed. I apologize, and bring that back into self. Quick question for the interpreters. Are there any questions in the interpretation rooms?
There's no participants.
Okay, so then we'll release the interpreters for 6:12 p.m. Thank you for your time, and thank you everyone for your attendance. We will make sure that these notes are sent out and that the video is posted up online, and we will be following up within that third week of May.
Va a ser en la tercera semana de mayo. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you again for
You
your
as
time.
well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening, everyone.